Dear students, my name is K. Prasad Rao, TGT Social Studies in AP Balayagi Gurukulam, Ardavidu, Prakasam district. Today we discuss about the Indian Constitution, Part B. The Constituent Assembly. The Constitution was drafted by an assembly of elected representatives called the Constituent Assembly. Elections to the Constituent Assembly were held in July 1946. Elections to the Constituent Assembly were held in July 1946. Its first meeting was held in December 1946. Its first meeting was held in December 1946. With the partition of the country in August 1947, the Constituent Assembly was also divided into the Constituent Assembly of India and that of Pakistan. The Indian Constituent Assembly had 299 members. The Assembly updated the Constitution on 26th November 1949. The Assembly adopted the Constitution on 26th November 1949, but it came into effect from 26th January. But it came into effect from 26th January 1950. To mark this day, we celebrate January 26th as Republic Day every year. We celebrate January 26th as Republic Day every year. The members of the Constituent Assembly were elected mainly by the members of the existing provincial legislatures formed during the British rule. Some of the members were nominated by the kings ruling over some parts of the country. Its members came from all the regions of the country. The assembly was dominated by the members of the Indian National Congress Party, and there were very few members of other parties like Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Even though most members were from the same party, most of them held very different views on most issues. There were very few women, just about 15. Srimati Durgabai Deshmukh was one of them. First, some basic principles were decided and agreed upon: that India will be a sovereign republic, that it will have within it several states with autonomous powers, that it will be democratic, that it will secure to all citizens justice, equality and freedom, that the interests of minorities, tribes and depressed caste classes will be safeguarded, and that India will work for world peace and welfare of all mankind. This is called the Objectives Resolution, and it was moved by Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India. The first Prime Minister of India. These became the guiding principles of drafting the Constitution. Then a drafting committee chaired by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Drafting committee chaired by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar prepared a draft constitution for discussion. Several rounds of through discussion took place on the draft constitution, clause by clause. There were intense debates on all important provisions were examined from different points of view, and finally decisions were taken by majority vote. More than 2,000 amendments to the draft constitution were considered. The members deliberated for 114 days, spread over 3 years. Every word spoken in the Constituent Assembly has been recorded and preserved. These are called Constituent Assembly debates. The dream and the promise. Let us begin by understanding the overall philosophy of what our Constitution is all about. We can understand it by reading the views of some of our major leaders on our Constitution, but it is equally important to read what the Constitution says about its own philosophy. The preamble of the Constitution states its philosophy. Some of you may have noticed a name missing from the sketches of the makers of the Constitution, Mahatma Gandhi. He was not a member of the Constituent Assembly, yet there were many members who followed his vision. Mahatma Gandhi was not a member of the Constituent Assembly, yet there were many members who followed his vision. Writing in the magazine Young India in 1931, he had spelled out what he wanted the Constitution to do. I shall strive for a Constitution which will release India from all thraldom and patronage. I shall work for an India in which the poorest shall feel that it is their country, in whose making they have an effective voice. In India, in which there shall be no high class and low class of people. An India in which all communities shall live in perfect harmony. There can be no room in such an India for the curse of untouchability or the curse of the intoxicating drinks and drugs. Women will enjoy the same rights as men. I shall be satisfied with nothing else. By Mahatma Gandhi. This dream of an India without inequality was shared by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who played a key role in the making of the Constitution. But he had a different understanding of how inequalities could be removed. In his concluding speech of the Constituent Assembly, he stated his anxiety very clearly. On the 26th of January 1950, we are going to enter life of contradictions. In politics, we will have equality, and in social and economic life, we will have inequality. In politics, we will be recognizing the principles of one man, one vote, and one vote, one value. In our social and economic life, we shall, by reasons of our social and economic structure, continue to deny the principle of one man, one value. How long shall we continue to live this life of contradictions? How long shall we continue to deny equality in our social and economic life? If we continue to deny it for long, we will do so only by putting our political democracy in peril. By Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Finally, let us turn to Jawaharlal Nehru, giving his famous speech for the Constituent Assembly at the stroke of midnight on August 15th, 1947. That future is not one of easy or resting, but of intense striving, so that we may fulfill the pledges we have so often taken and the one we shall take today. The service of India means the service of the millions who suffer. It means the ending of poverty and ignorance and diseases and inequality of opportunity. This ambition of the greatest man of our generation has been to wipe every tear from every eye that may be beyond us. But as long as there are tears and suffering, so long our work will not be over. By Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay, thank you.